Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Player Zone YouTube channel and welcome back to Player Zone Footmas once again. In today's video, I'm pretty pumped at this one here. We're doing 5 football what-ifs, I guess, for this season currently and for the back end of it in many regards as well, as we sort of come towards the midway point, which this December month represents. We've got one what-if from each league, whether it be a player, a club, or a particular, I guess, moment throughout the season. I'm just looking ahead and seeing what would the implications be if this happened or if this did not happen in many regards as well. I'm going to get kicked off with probably more of a light-hearted one, but going to the Bundesliga, and the what if I have to talk about is what if Harry Kane fails to win a trophy yet again for Bayern Munich this season? Last year comes across the big signing, leaving Spurs to want to win a trophy. Got so close, Champions League semi-final, Joselu, the hero for Real Madrid, they don't go to the Champions League final, don't win the Champions League. Knocked out of the DFB Pokal as well, and a very poor league season where Leverkusen ended up running away with it. And in the end, VfB Stuttgart pipped Bayern Munich to second place as well. So third place finish, no trophies last year, and an abysmal season in terms of he did so well, so many goals for the club, but couldn't get over the line yet again. Where we have this season now, they're sitting in first place at the current point in time of recording this video, 7 points clear of Leverkusen, 4 points clear of Frankfurt in second. So they've got a bit of a gap. They have been now, though, bounced out of the DFB Pokal nearing to record this video. So there's one trophy eliminated from the chances. You've obviously got the Champions League with this new format. It is so wide open, the Champions League right now. They are likely to be in that two-legged knockout game before you get to the round of 16. So I can't see them automatically qualifying. That is just going to be a ridiculous round of games. Those, the games prior to the knockout round of 16 stages, that's just a lottery. So the Champions League this year is going to be so hard to win, I feel like, especially if you're not in the top 8. So that's a difficult game as well, and that's going to be difficult to win as well. So it looks like the Bundesliga is going to be their trophy. Well, it has to be Bayern's trophy in many regards. But if Harry Kane and Bayern Munich do not win this trophy, it's a what if for a lot of different sort of situations here. A what if for what happens to Bayern then? Do you keep Vincent Kompany, who they took a punt on? He got relegated with Burnley. The surprise manager move was him being announced as the Bayern Munich coach. He's got off to a fantastic start. They're killing it in the league. Scoring goals were fun. Clean sheets deluxe. You got heaps of great improvements from the back line. Kimmich in the midfield's holding it down. Harry Kane's had a fantastic start of the season, and his stats show that. Like, he's had 64 goals, 21 assists in 64 Bayern appearances. So he's doing everything he can possibly do to keep winning for Bayern Munich. But if they somehow manage to not win the league this season, they cannot win the Pokal, I doubt they'll win the Champions League. There you goes, another season without a trophy. After leaving Spurs for Bayern Munich, a team that hasn't lost the league in, 13 years, I believe, and they lose back-to-back league titles, the curse is real. And I guess the role and effect, I think 63 goals for England, one of the great England goal scorers, one of the great strikers of all time, a complete forward, one that can facilitate for others. Heung-min Son and his link up top was fantastic. Many golden boots. We're lucky to win the golden boot yet again here this season in the Bundesliga, back-to-back years, dominates. But if he can never win a major trophy, that is going to be one of the great careers wasted in many regards. Spurs, we understand it might never happen because it's Spurs. They're going through a rough patch. The identity is almost ingrained now that they struggle to win trophies. You go to Bayern Munich, a team that has just rolled in titles year after year across the last 20 years. The first year there, you don't win anything. If you somehow manage to not win anything the second year, that has got to be cursed. It simply has to be a curse because, as I said, one of the all-time great strikers, but you look at the names next to him and the stuff they have won, it's just ridiculous. And, I think England might go on a chance to win 2 Euros. They've been in 2 different finals, lose them both. Competitive in so many World Cups, not gone all the way and won a trophy. If for some reason it doesn't work out this year, even if he does win one later on, it's going to be one of the all-time sort of flop players in terms of he's incredible, but he can't convert and get over the line at the end. But these stats are ridiculous. 280 goals, 61 assists for Spurs, a goal a game for Bayern Munich. And without a trophy, it looked very, very bleak. It's a what-if for not only him, but also, I guess, the club as well, because what happens if they don't win anything this season? Do they just roll out a whole new team? Do they sell all of their players and start again Bayern Munich? Because at the end of last season, it looked very bleak. They sack Thomas Tuchel. They bring in Vincent Kompany, and I was thinking, wait, what? What's going on here? They've started the season well, but we know how different runs can happen. We know how dangerous Leverkusen can be. They've only just sort of gotten to second gear, it feels like. Beating them in the DFB Pokal is a good mental advantage. But 2 games to play in the league, if Leverkusen win both of them, that 7-point differential disappears very, very quickly. And we know how the Bundesliga can swing things around. So if somehow Leverkusen or even Frankfurt end up winning the league, oh my God, the tainted Harry Kane's history and legacy will be ridiculous, and something that I don't think will be a stat he'll or many fans of Harry Kane will want to look at in the future. So that's a big what if this season from the Bundesliga. A big what if from the Serie A is, what if Juventus don't fix their attacking options? How will their season go? Because Thiago Motta coming from Bologna, fantastic season last year, a very interesting style of football, a new tactic, a new formula, a new formation, a new outlook on the style of football. Made that side very, very competitive last season. A very, very entertaining, exciting side based on that 3-back system with fullbacks pushing on, false 9 in many regards, and Joshua Zirkzee up top, width in attacking areas. And goals weren't flying in, but it felt like they were coming at a good rate. This season he goes to Juventus, a team that very much struggled last season for goals. A side that Allegri built on defence and defence-first system. And in the end, he was sacked, and it was sort of deemed that he was the problem why the side wasn't creating goals and attacking outputs. Dusan Vlahovic was fantastic last season for him, carrying a lot of the weight going forward. But we start this season, and the side hasn't really hit the ground running in terms of elite-level goals. Bologna last season, 1.4 goals per game. They finished 5th, 3 points behind Juventus in 3rd. This season, the side scores 1.6 goals per game. So slight improvement from Juventus from what Bologna had last season. But it's a 6 wins, 8 draws. Obviously still unbeaten, which is fantastic. But they're losing touch with the teams above them. Constant 0-0 draws. 5 0-0 draws this season for Juventus. Many cases of they just don't look likely to score. They scored 4 and 3 in the odd game here and there. That classic 4-4 draw versus Inter Milan earlier in the season. 6 games this season where the side hasn't scored, 5 cases of a 0-0 draw. Obviously, the positives are there, 10 clean sheets in Serie A in 14 games. So that's a positive. Only conceding 8 goals in the Serie A, obviously 4 coming to Inter Milan. Vlahovic already got the 6 goals in the 12 games this season, but we're looking to see who else can contribute. Vlahovic been out the last 2 or so games with a bit of an injury. And I looked at this side, a 1-1 draw versus Lecce, previous to when I'm recording this video. So that's a bit of a worry. You're not beating a Lecce side that's quite poor, quite average. That adds more pressure onto this side here. I think for Thiago Motta, the big loss of Bremer, the captain, the leader, one of the best centre-backs in Serie A last season. I said it in the podcast, the most recent podcast when I'm recording this, I think he would have preferred to go his 3-back system. He would have liked that sort of 3 central centre-backs, allow sort of wing-backs and wingers to push on and help and overload the wide areas in attacking football. But he's forced to play sort of 4-2-3-1 in many regards, a more, bland and basic formation. And I just think for Juventus, they need as much attacking help as they can possibly get. They've got a very young attacking front line. Conceição, 1 goal, 3 assists. Yield is probably the best of the lot, 3 goals, 2 assists. Weah, 4 goals, 1 assist, but it's been pretty wasteful. Coop Miners for me has been the most underwhelming with 0 goals and 2 assists. So, 8 goals and 8 assists in Serie A outside of Dusan Vlahovic. It's not very exciting. There's a lot of wasteful chances, not clinical in the final third. And the big stat for me that shows this is 2.3 big chance created per game only, and 1.6 big chance per game missed. So, of the big chances you're creating, you're only scoring a small percentage of that. You need to be clinical for Juventus if you want to win games of football. You've got Atalanta that just keep scoring goals. You've got Inter Milan who have 2 of the most clinical forwards in the league. We know Fiorentina with Moise Kean are firing in the final third. They just don't have the firepower to keep up this point in time. And if it's not Dusan Vlahovic, who is it going to be for Juventus? So I think the problem for Juventus is how they're going to fix this problem. Do they go and get Joshua Zirkzee on loan from Manchester United in the January window? Do they bring over Riccardo Orsolini from Bologna, who's firing this season? Again, bringing back some of Motta's old faces, trying to help him in this side here. Or do they sign another centre half to get the three centre halves going and commit to that sort of three centre half system with wing backs pushing players on, utilising the wide and then the half spaces going forward to try and create more chances and score more goals? Because at their current point in time, yes, they might go undefeated in the season, but they're going to be nowhere near the title because they're not winning enough games of football. 6 wins, 8 draws ain't going to cut it if the season keeps going on. There's already a bit of a gap developing. You don't want that gap getting even bigger. Now, the problem was still there last season. 54 goals only scored by Juventus last season. 16 came from Dusan Vlahovic, and he assisted 4 more goals. So he's involved in half the side's goals, basically. And it can't be the same this season if they want to be successful. So what if Juventus don't fix those problems? Do they not finish in European positions? Is Thiago Motta found out, or is it just a case of this side not being good enough? A lot of questions to be asked there. Go to the Premier League next, and it's what if Mikel Arteta does not win a trophy this season? It's been a great turnaround under Mikel Arteta. He's transformed the side. He averages 1.98 points per game in the Premier League with his side. So very successful. 5th full season this year. He's come short the last 2 seasons to a very good Man City side. And they've played some fantastic football. They've got 2 of the best centre-backs in world football. One of the most consistent right-wingers in world football, Bukayo Saka. One of the most influential number 10s in Martin Odegaard. One of the best number 6s in Declan Rice. So there's all of the park. He's rejuvenated this side. But yet the only major trophy he's won is with not even his side. It's a Emirates FA Cup with likes of Aubameyang, Pepe, Holding, Luiz, Bellerin, Maitland-Niles in that side. Ceballos. Basically, every player in that team is not playing this current point in time. So you won with that side, but you're not winning any trophies with this current point in time. And I always hear the Arsenal fans saying, if we wanted to go and win the Carabao Cup, we would. We wanted to win the FA Cup, we would. Well, show us that. I think Mikel Arteta has to do something this season. And I keep saying this, I don't disrespect him as a manager, but you can't hold him up and say all these things about him if he hasn't won anything. Because it's a community shield. It's the only thing that this side with Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, Odegaard, that's the only trophy they have won. A community shield in a penalty shootout versus Manchester City. That doesn't stack up. Eric Ten Hag's gone and won 2 trophies with Manchester United. He wasn't successful, but he got the side some trophies. And Mikel Arteta was given time and needed time to just rejuvenate this Arsenal squad. But this squad's been good now. Top 2, top 3 in the Premier League for the last 2.5, 3 years in many regards. So the time to strike is now. And if you don't strike this season, pressure has to go on the manager. And you have to second guess where you sort of see Mikel Arteta amongst the great managers, because it's getting near Pochettino areas, where Pochettino was regarded as a fantastic manager, got Spurs to a Champions League final, turned Southampton around, made them a beast, made Tottenham a consistent top 4 side, but didn't win any trophies, and didn't win any trophies when he went to Chelsea either. Mikel Arteta is going towards that sort of area where he's a superb manager. I always say he's a great manager, but he might not be a winning manager. He might need someone else to come in who's a winner and make this side a side that can win a trophy. Because if this season you don't win anything, with Man City off it, really far off it, and looking like their legs have gone, Pep bit rattled. When you've got Arne Slot coming into a new Liverpool side, yes, I know they're firing right now, but at the start of the season, you can't tell me that Liverpool was a real threat. I thought that would be a dangerous side. I didn't think that would be this dangerous, but coming to the season, you went and you're coming against a Liverpool side that has gotten rid of Jurgen Klopp. He's retired. A lot of older faces in that side, so you can't expect them to be a definite challenger to you. You've got a really poor Man United side, a Spurs side that's struggled this season. Chelsea, we never thought would be this good, but they're amongst the areas. But with a lot of pieces moving around, you were the most stable side. You were supposed to be one of the best sides going into the season. There was all this talk of then winning it this year and upending Man City's run. And your number 1 competitor, which was Man City, have fallen off. And if you don't win the title, I think that's all on Mikel Arteta. I think that has to fall on the manager and the players as well. But the manager can't be held to this high level if you're not winning any trophies. The questions have to be asked if he doesn't win this season. I think amongst Ancelotti, Mourinho, Conte, some of the names, they might not play some of the best football. They might not be as entertaining, but they come in and they get results. They win trophies. They win stuff. Mikel Arteta now has had his 5th full season, 6 seasons in charge of this side. 3 of this elite level side that we're talking about, this A tier side, top 5 in the world side, apparently. But if you don't win anything, you can't be top 5 or nothing. That's just simply how it is. So the big what if is Mikel Arteta wins it, if he can win a trophy this season. If he does not win a trophy, and what if Mikel Arteta goes trophyless this season, he might be at the door come the midpoint of next season if all is not firing. You have to strike while the iron's hot, especially in this modern world of football. So pressure's on Mikel Arteta. From Ligue 1, it's pretty easy, this one here. What if PSG fail to qualify for the next stage of the Champions League? They currently sit in 25th spot right now in the Champions League. 3 goals only scored so far in the Champions League. The problem's pretty clear. No centre-forward option. They've basically wrapped up the league title already. 10 wins, 4 draws in 14 games. 8 points clear of the side in second place. So all eyes have to go on Champions League football. And the eyes have been on Champions League football now for the last 6-7 years. Since Messi was there, Neymar was there, and Mbappe was cooking. This side should have at least gone to a semi-final, potentially a final. Now all those big names have left. And with Mbappe leaving, and that's a different story with how that's going to work out with Real Madrid, but with Mbappe leaving, the lights were turned off in the league. It was, who's to watch, what's any danger than watching this league. But then we've got teams like Brest, got teams like Monaco outperforming the big giant PSG in the Champions League. This goes to show that this club might not be the big boy after all. They spend the money, they get the big players, but if you can't perform in Europe's elite competition with a top manager, Luis Enrique, that is, responsible for winning things, he has performed with some great sides, but if he can't win with this side here, if he can't take them out of the group stages or the ladder stage or the league phase of the Champions League, that is an all-time capitulation. That falls on the players, that they can't perform without a superstar. All the pressure on Bradley Barcola, all the pressure on Ousmane Dembele to be the central strikers or be the leaders of the line. There is no striker in this team. They didn't buy a good enough striker, and it's coming back to hurt them. This club, the what if is, if they don't not qualify into the next phase, can we even see PSG as a big club? Can we see the league as a top 5 league? Possibly not. Because if they're walking the league but they can't get out of the group stages of the Champions League, I'd consider Liga Portugal a better league, the Eredivisie a better league. It's at a teetering point here. You lose your big star in Mbappe, the lights are turned out. We had hope this season that maybe Marseille, Lyon could compete, potentially Monaco could compete with PSG in the league. Doesn't look like it. 8 points clear already, PSG, after 14 games. But this top-tier team that is dominating your league cannot make it out of the group stage of the Champions League. A lot of questions to be asked, not only about the league, but about PSG. What club are you without just buying a superstar? Because this team right now on paper, pretty average. There's some superstars in there. Neves, Vitinha, Ruiz, Achraf Hakimi, Bradley Barcola. But I'd love to see a Bradley Barcola for Borussia Dortmund or for Bayern Munich. I'd love to see Jean Neves playing for Chelsea or for Arsenal or for Real Madrid. And if it keeps going the way they're going, these players are going to leave PSG because there's no point playing that league if you cannot compete for the Champions League and you're going to walk a league title every year without any competition. They will just abandon the league and this league will fall off. So to protect French football and to protect this club, this team has to make it into the next stage of the Champions League. Like, if they don't make the round of 16, it's one of the great flops. So it's a massive what if, and it might go to show, that Mbappe was right in his decision. Salzburg away, City at home, Stuttgart away, their final 3 games. The credibility is on the Liga, on the league, on Luis Enrique, on these players, on PSG as a club. There's a lot relying on these 3 games coming up for them to get their act together. They need to score goals first. 3 goals in their first 5 games is just pathetic. So a lot relying on that what if for PSG. And finally, in La Liga, I'm very excited about this one here. What if Atletico Madrid go and win La Liga? They come from nowhere and they storm and win La Liga. Simeone has done some great things with this club. 2 La Ligas, 2 Europa Leagues, 2 Super Cups, 1 Copa del Rey in his time there. But this, for me, might be his greatest achievement. With Hansi Flick firing with this young, rejuvenated Barcelona, with Rafinha firing, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, Casado in midfield, Gavi, Pedri, De Jong. The names can go on. The centre-half, Pau Kubasi. Yes, they've got some injury problems. Yes, they're a young side, but it's an elite side. It's Barcelona. They're back to their best. Fantastic start of the season. You've got the Galacticos in Real Madrid. Thibaut Courtois, Rudiger, Fede Valverde, Bellingham, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Vinicius, Endrick, Arda Güler, just to name a few. The Galacticos, Real Madrid, Ancelotti. So 2 teams that we thought would go which we thought Real would coast the league, but with the way the league started, we thought it'd be a two-way affair, Barca and Real. But as we currently sit here in day of recording this, Atletico Madrid are just sitting pretty right now. Only one loss so far in the league this season. They've only conceded 8 goals in the league. Defensively solid. And you've got the likes of Antoine Griezmann in his career best form yet again. You've got Julian Alvarez finding the back of the net more efficiently. Llorente, ever consistent in midfield. De Paul and Gallagher looking like some of the best midfield duos in world football at the current point in time. And there's one thing about Simeone, he's going to shithouse his way through games, and he'll find ways to scrap and knit and grit and find a way to get a result. And he might just do enough like this season to go and win a league title. And if he can win that against Ancelotti's superhero Real Madrid side, albeit with a lot of injuries, Alaba out for the season, Ibrahim missing key periods, Militao out for the season, Dani Carvajal out for the season, Bellingham missing key periods, Courtois, Rodrigo missing key periods, Vinicius and Camavinga missing periods of time. They're vulnerable. They're not linking up with Mbappe and Vini up top. It hasn't quite worked. They haven't acclimatized quick enough. They're vulnerable. Then you got Barcelona, young players, more injury problems. We know Pedri and Gavi go down often. No Araujo so far yet this season. Penna goal's been good, but will he have a fall-off moment without Ter Stegen there? How long can Rafinha, Lamine Yamal operate this level? Can Lewandowski keep scoring goals? Does this young side falter with a bit of pressure with their high line? Will they get exposed? Will their legs go from under them with this high-energy anti-flick system? And will Atletico Madrid, steady Eddie Atletico Madrid, just work their way through the league season, lose only 2 or 3 games through a busy patch, end the season only 4 losses, and win the league title? One of the great league titles, one of the most unexpected league titles. It's a big what if, but if they do that, that is massive credit in the bank to Simeone. I don't really like him as a manager. I think he could do so much more with this side. But in terms of they just win a league title, it doesn't matter how they play their football. It doesn't matter how ugly it gets at times. If you win a league title, you deserve all your props. So it's a big what if. It's a massive what if, probably the biggest out of them all. But if they go and win a league title this season against those 2 huge sides, Simeone has to be considered one of the great managers of all time. He already is up there, but he'll be firmly in that conversation if he can do it with this side here. He'll be one of the great league titles in my eyes. But it's definitely possible the way Atletico Madrid are playing their football right now. There you go. There's my 5 what ifs across the big European 5 leagues. What if Harry Kane goes trophyless this season for Bayern Munich? What if Juventus don't fix their attacking problems? Can they still get top 4 or challenge for a title? What if Arteta doesn't win a trophy this season with Arsenal? How does that look on the club? How does it look on Mikel Arteta as their manager? What if PSG fail to qualify for the Champions League knockout phases? What does that say about Luis Enrique, the PSG as a club, and Ligue 1 in general? And then finally, what if Atletico Madrid wins La Liga? How does that make see Diego Simeone stack up in the all-time managers list? And how does that rank in terms of an all-time unseen, unpredicted type of league title? Because I don't think anyone gave them much of a chance coming into the season, especially with what Real Madrid had to offer. So there's my 5 what-ifs for the season. Let me know your what-ifs or your thoughts on my what-ifs for this season in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know that in the comment section down below. We can get interacting down there. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash a like on it, subscribe to the Players Zone channel for more videos like these, and press that post notification bell so you know we upload here our podcast, our videos on the channel. With that being said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy the football that's coming up, and I'll see you guys in the video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.